Melissa McCack, and I'm here with my brother, Justin Maycat.
Hey, everybody.
This is Speak Up Game of the Month, where we tell some sort of game that we feel is not getting enough love. It is not necessarily underrated. It is just, maybe it even came in with a splash at one point, and now people don't really talk about it or give it enough love.
Right.
So anyway, go ahead, Justin. What is your pick of the month?
So, my pick of the month, here for the month of March, is Trails of Tucana. So I believe this is the first pick for Speak Up that I've done with a Dice Tower Seal of Excellence on it. And this is because one of the members of the Dice Tower, Z Darcia, definitely does rave about this game. Yeah. He loves this game. He totally is not the problem and why it's on Speak Up Game of the Month. The reason is actually just because this game, I don't know why, but in terms of roll and writes and stuff, it does not get mentioned a lot. This is a fantastic, flip and write game where it has a lot of interesting decision making, where what you'll do is you'll flip two cards and it shows you two different hexagon tiles, and then you will have to draw a line across two tiles on your own map like that. So you have a whole bunch of different interesting choices. You're trying to connect the paths in different ways to add more lines. You really want to be able to store a bunch of points, and there's just a whole bunch of different ways that you're storing points by connecting these lines, and you really try to get real tricky and nifty with it to store some really awesome points. I find the game a lot of fun, has really interesting decision making, and it does not get brought up and mentioned enough.
Yeah, I'm not huge on rolling rights, but there are a few that I like. This is one of them that I like. It's one of the better ones, I feel, for me. I think that what happened with this one is that it kind of just came in at the time where, because roll and rights were crazy, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was making a roll and write and a roll and write version of everything.
Right.
And this one kind of came in sort of at like the end slope.
A little bit.
Where people were kind of like, okay.
They were a little exhausted.
Done with rolling rights now, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think people still like rolling rights, obviously, but I think this one came in at a time where people are kind of over it at that point.
Yeah, I think people were a little tired of rolling rights by the time this one came in. Also, this one has a little bit of a hindrance that most rolling rights do not. This one actually does have technically a max player count, because it does cap out at 8, which is a very large player count regardless. Most roll and rights, is particularly the big ones, hit any number you want.
Yeah.
You can play with a room of people. This one, not really. You technically can, but not really. You're missing out on an aspect of the game if you do that.
I think this one also came out pretty close to the pandemic.
That's true,
So it's not like you could really play it on camera.
I think you might be right about that.
So, I think it kind of maybe suffered from that even.
Yeah. But it is a fantastic game. There are, I think, a lot of reasons why it did go a bit under the radar. Not super under the radar, but it's just not being mentioned a lot, and I think it's one that does need to get mentioned more. Trails of Tucana.
All right. My Speak Up Game of the Month is Sunday Split. You like how I did that little flip thing? Yeah, baby. Rodney Smith. Anyway, Sunday Split. Now, this is an I Split You Choose game.
Right.
And it has set collection in it, but it also adds the aspect of bluffing in the game. And this is just like this little card game.
Yeah.
That kind of floats under the radar. It's from Renegade Games. And Foxtrot Games.
Renegade, I feel like, made so many games. Out of nowhere, I'll just see Renegade on it.
Renegade,
what? That's Renegade?
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. But this one does the I Split You Choose pretty well. I think the theme is fun.
Yeah.
This one, I never hear about this one, to be honest. I know Tom Vassell did a review on it, and that's all I know. And I think even he kind of was like, it's all right.
Yeah.
But I think that, it's a little better than all right. No, it's probably all right.
It's a nice little filler. It is a nice little filler.
One thing I will say is, if you do not like downtime, that is where this game kind of pitfalls, because while the person who is choosing the I Split You Choose person is choosing their stuff, they can take a while. Yep. And everybody else is kind of just sitting there doing nothing. Now, for us, it doesn't quite matter. We play it as though, we're just chilling. So while that person is doing whatever they're choosing. Everybody else is just kind of breaking out into conversation, maybe actually eating ice cream. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, if that's a problem for you, I probably wouldn't play it at more than 3 players. Otherwise, it isn't really an issue for us, and we don't really like downtime.
No, I hate downtime.
Yeah.
But in a game like this, it's okay because it's kind of party-ish. You know, it's not a game you take super seriously. And then you're playing with a bunch of people, and like you said, you just break into conversation while people are choosing.
Right.
I will say this. This is something that I've realized recently, and it's something that kind of hurts the I Split You Choose category for me. I find set collection to be a somewhat boring mechanic a lot of times. I find it to not be that, and I enjoy Sunday Split because it's very lighthearted and stuff. But I have realized recently that I find set collection to not be a very rewarding mechanic in games.
Yeah, if it's totally focused on that, I guess you're right. Although I like this game, so I don't know.
No, it is fun, and I agree that it should get spoken about more.
I think, by the way, with this game, you're making your own ice cream, and the mechanism that I really like, that it really like kind of turns the tables a little bit on the I Split You Choose mechanism, is the bluffing, because you are actually, as the chooser, you place some cards face down, and you have to.
Yeah.
So some of these cards, and it is a set collection game where you're collecting certain ice creams or like sprinkles, whipped cream, all this sort of stuff to give you extra points. But in the mix are vegetables, and nobody freaking wants vegetables in their ice cream. Blasphemous. And so the person can place things face down, right? And they're going to be the last person to choose what they get. So they could be bluffing. Like, is that face down card broccoli? Or is it whipped cream?
Right.
You know? And I really like that in this game.
Yeah, I think that probably is the most fun aspect. So this game, in a lot of ways, reminds me of also New York Slice. I think that there's a lot of familiarity between the two.
That one gets a lot of love.
That one does get a lot of love, but I actually think Sunday Split might be my game of choice just because of that. It adds a little something to the set collection by also adding that little bit of bluffing in there. That little bit of like, who knows which one you actually want. It makes the game a little bit lighter also, and again, I think it adds even to that conversational element of the game.
It's fun. It's fun. That is Speak Up Game of the Month. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. This has been Room 51.